I am Joe McDaniel with the Joe McDaniel and Associates. I have been away doing a lot of wonderful things, and you all have been seeing me on Facebook, telling you a little bit about what I have been doing. But I'm going to tell you a lot tonight, and I'm going to get us started. So, some of you have not signed up and taken my challenge yet. So I just said, guess what? Since they won't sign up, I'll take it to them. But we still do have the 3-day wealth shift challenge that I think you will find will be very beneficial. But in the meantime, I'm going to give you some information each week on Facebook for some of you all that may be shy or just not, just cannot commit that time to actually doing a challenge for 3 days. And it's only 2 hours each day, so I don't want you to think it's 3 full days. But I'm going to start out talking about the wealth shift. I have been so excited doing the preparation for this new shift I'm making in my life. And I wanted to let you all know the shift is because I want to do it, but also the shift is because there became an opportunity for me to do it. I think some of you all know that recently I have been having problems with my arthritis, and now I have back problems. So I've had a lot of time to do studying, writing, reading. So I just think it's just meant for me to shift along with you all and start my new journey. I am turning 65. I know you can't believe it, but I'm turning 65 next month. And this is something that hopefully will be encouraging for all seniors to know that no matter what age you are, you can make a shift in your life and enjoy it and start a new journey and still be very successful no matter what age you are. So we're going to start out talking about the wealth shift. I've been doing some reels and giving you a little bit of information, but I'm going to break it down for you tonight so that you all can see what the wealth shift is about. And I will tell you this, it is definitely needed. Now, tonight is not about blaming who, why, but it's about understanding where we are and why we need to shift and where this shift is going to take us. I want to give you some data. I always start out by telling you data so that you will know there is truly a need for what I'm bringing you all. Even if you don't have a need, there is a need. And so please understand that and get the word out if you're not one of the people who feel like you need to do a wealth shift because you may be already building wealth or have built generational wealth over your years if you're in your 60s and 70s like myself. But I want to give you some facts that should let you know we are going to have to make a shift. Now, like I said, I am very, very proud of my people as a whole. And what I mean by my people, right now I'm talking to African Americans. I'm very proud of them because we have made some great strides and we are some very, very strong, intelligent, and gifted people. And I really think it's just a part of the system to have us where we are now. And that's what I'm here to help you understand how now to make that shift to move us farther along and not just kind of stay where we are and not make the progress that we can make if we just do the shift. And you're going to hear that a lot because that's basically going to be on my little throw word shift. So when I talk to you all, I'm going to be asking now, are you shifting with me? So that I can make sure that you understand. So if you understand, the appropriate response would be, yes, I'm shifting. Okay. All right. So listen, Black home ownership. Now, most of you all know that I am a real estate broker. So of course, I'm going to be mainly teaching you about building wealth through real estate, but I'm also going to bring you other people who would tell you about building wealth in other areas. I like to bring on experts to tell you information so that you can get the up-to-date information and make sure that I'm putting you in good hands. Now, we have several things to offer you, and I'll tell you at the end what they are so you'll know how we're going to build this together. Because I'm going to tell you, building wealth is for the 5%. Let me say that. But we're going to shift it to where more than 5% are going to be controlling 95% of the money. We're going to shift these things, okay? So, but I want to let you know that I'm going to focus on real estate, and then I'm going to bring in other people to focus on other areas. All right? We're going to be doing the Wealth Shift podcast where we're going to be bringing in those people. But let me give you some facts to tell you why I'm so concerned and so committed to this wealth shift. Black home ownership is about 44%. White ownership, 72%. And the sad thing about it is that 44% is going backwards. We used to be about 47%. So we're gaining as far as income, but we're going backwards when it comes to wealth. Okay. I'm not even going to give you some of the sad projections that they have about where we're going to be in 2030, because I'm here and I know one person along with everybody else that's going to join this movement can make sure that the stats that they're giving us, they're not going to be true. We're going to shift this thing. Okay. And I'm serious about this. A typical Black family's net worth, and I'm going to explain what net worth is $44,900. Sounds pretty good because most people don't have that much money saved. But compared to $285,000 for a typical white family. We're shifting. Okay? Now, I want you to understand why I'm so heavily into home ownership is because that is one of the main ways that people in America, okay, increase their net worth. So do understand that. The median net worth for someone who's a homeowner, and this is including everyone, is $396,500 if you own a home. All right? Versus $10,400 for renters. And you ask me why? I don't want you to be a renter. When we get through with this wealth shift series, it's going to probably take me a while to get everything to you all because I'm only coming on once a month. I'm doing a challenge that will go in depth, teach you details. And also I'm doing a Bible study for you all who feel like, oh, well, wealth, that's about greedy people, evil people. And, I'm a Christian, I'm not into that. Or I don't want to be a part of what you call, quote, that prosperity ministry. But let me tell you this. The reason I'm doing that Bible study is to show you how much of this was meant for God's people. You hear me? And God's people are some of the brokest people in our community. We're going to what? Shift. All right. The next thing is 76% of Black Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Paycheck to paycheck. 76%. 43% of those are struggling just to make ends meet. Just to make ends meet. 33%, they're living with, the comforts, but it's costing them all of what they earn. Now, isn't that something? So in other words, they're living paycheck to paycheck too. They're just not struggling to make ends meet. 41% of Black consumers have no emergency savings at all. 38% though, at least said they have 3 months of emergency funds. This data is kind of shocking, isn't it? Only 47% of Americans say they could cover a $1,000 emergency expense from savings or other readily available funds. And we're not talking about credit cards, and we're not talking about borrowing. We're talking about emergency funds. But let me say this. Here's the good news. It's always going to be good news if Joe McDaniel is involved. The good news is these numbers do not tell us who we are. They tell us where we are. These stats, they're not our destiny. That's not where we're going. And they will not tell us what's going to happen in 2050, those negative stats that they have put up in front of us that we are not going to accept. We are going to shift. Just remember that. We're going to shift. All right. So tonight is not about making you feel bad. No. Tonight is about making a decision that we are going to start shifting, and our next generation will have a different story to tell. These numbers won't be there. And we can do it. Okay? I think about all the people. I got a painting that one of my family friends, one of my family members' friend painted an original painting for me as a gift of Harriet Tubman. He said the museums didn't want it until the movie came out, but that was okay. He ended up earning a lot more money for it. So he gave me an original print. Ha, ha, ha. Building wealth. Because you better believe that painting is worth some money. And if she, one person, can free people like she did, oh, this one Joe McDaniel going to create this shift. And you all are going to help me, because this is going to be a movement. This is not about one person. This is about a people, a generation, a future of African American people who are going to proudly stand in the wealth position that we know we can be in. We're going to stop measuring success by what we earn and the way we outwardly look and fake to be. We're going to start measuring our success by what do we own and what do we control. Yeah, we're going to get us some t-shirts that talk about that. Yeah, we're going to get us some t-shirts that talk about that. My movement is called the Powerful Wealth Builders. Why we're powerful? Because God has given us the power to get wealth. That's why we're powerful. We're going to replace debt with assets. We're going to replace renting with home ownership. We're going to replace financial stress with financial literacy. We're going to replace surviving with building wealth. That's what the wealth shift is all about. Okay? So we're not going to talk about those stats. They tell us where we are, but they're not going to be able to tell us where we are. Our future is determined by what we do beginning today. We're going to shift. We're changing the conversation about earning money to what? Owning wealth. So we can't brag about we make millions of dollars, but we're living paycheck to paycheck. We're making millions entertaining people and then have to go bankrupt. Nah, that's going to stop. Stop here. Because look, for generations, what have they taught you? Go to school, get a good job, work hard, and retire someday. But have they taught you about buying and appreciating assets, owning real estate, understanding credit? I'm sorry, I'm getting a little mixed up tonight with my words, but that's what the devil tries to do when you got a good message. So I'm going to continue. Understanding credit, investing consistently, building multiple streams of income, leaving wealth to the next generation, and educating our children to do so as well. Okay? So that's what the wealth shift is about. And instead of focusing on what we don't have, we're going to focus on what we can build. We're going to become wealth builders, not just wage earners. We're not going to be corporate slaves. No way. I'm bringing you out. The Harriet Tubman of today is Joe McDaniel. I'm bringing you out. Okay? We're shifting. Step one, we're going to increase our financial knowledge, because what you don't know can cost you thousands over your lifetime. Step two, everybody's going to have close to an 800 credit score. Why? It's power, buying power. In America, unfortunately, it's buying power. And we've got to be able to buy to control. We're going to stop renting forever. We're going to become landlords, but we're not going to be renting. We're going to create this plan to own. And guess what? We're going to start today. You should not have to rent for more than another 12 months, because it only takes you 12 months, if you're serious, to get out of your situation, no matter how bad it is, if you're working. Now, I am talking to people now. Let's get it right. I am talking to people who have worked, earning a good income, but just can't figure out how to stop living paycheck to paycheck. If you don't have a job, I got somebody I can connect you with. If you haven't finished your education, at least your high school education, and you haven't gotten some kind of certificate, now with AI, you don't even have to go to a 4-year school. You can get online, get a certificate, and some of the major places will hire you with a 1.5 year education. You can listen, AI replacing jobs, but guess what? They're not replacing plumbers, HVAC people. Those people make some darn good money. And I know that because they come out here and I know what I pay them. So let's shift. But it's meant for people who have worked and willing to work. Because this is not about a handout. Okay? It's a hand up. It's a shift up. All right? You're going to buy your first appreciating asset. If you don't have a home, you're coming out of those rental situations. And if you do, we're going to talk about how you can buy your first real estate investment. Because you're talking about possibly getting a 20% raise on your 9-to-5 income by having real estate. You know why? I got a whole lot of real estate multimillionaires who do not pay taxes. Okay? Y'all getting mad at those other people for not paying taxes? Well, guess what Joe McDaniel did? She figured out how they do it, and we will talk about how you can do it. If what they say, you can't beat them, figure out what they're doing and do it. Okay? That's if it's good, of course. So we're going to also teach you how to buy a house. A lot of people talk about, houses are expensive nowadays and whatever. Yes, it is. But it's because you're trying to buy your dream house for your first house. I keep telling you all that. You are willing to live in a 2-bedroom, some of y'all 1-bedroom apartment, and pay somebody else for it. but you don't think enough of yourself to buy your own 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom and make you some money so that you can eventually get your house that you want. All right. Now, if an 18-year-old, that's the youngest person I sold a house. If an 18-year-old can figure out how to buy a house, you educated, bachelor, master, some of y'all got PhDs. You can figure it out too. We're going to turn one property into multiple assets because, see, from that property, I'm going to teach you how to, like, I have equity in my home, and people are like, well, I got equity in my home, but if I borrow it, I got to pay it back. You become 60 and 70 when it's time for you to retire. I got a way for you to not even have to pay it back if you borrow it. Yeah, I got the answer. Real estate is top notch. That's why I don't care. All these people on the internet that's telling you not to buy real estate, don't buy a house. I want you to ask them one question. Do you own real estate? I promise you 99.9% of them are going to say, oh, yes, I do, but it's a bad time. No, it's not. It's never a bad time to own real estate. Why? How many people are homeless who want to be homeless? That'll tell you how high demand real estate will always be. Okay. And the next step, we're going to teach, after we have done all of these things, we're going to teach our children and our grandchildren and their children how to do the same thing. We talk about Jewish people and how much money they got and how much control they have. You know why? Because they start teaching their children at 10 how to handle money, how to start businesses, how to own stocks, 10 years old. What are we teaching our children? I'm not even going to talk about it, okay? Let's just say we're shifting. Just remember, we're shifting. Then we're going to paint the vision. Just think about what would happen, okay? If we owned our communities, if we own the restaurants, we own the stores. And you know, we talk about it, but there have been places like that who have built such communities. Yeah, they were destroyed out of jealousy. But the point is, they built them with way less than what we have. So if they can do it, we can too. Because see, we are flashing all of these restaurants that we own and blah, blah, blah. But what happens if they get to the point where they say, oh, no, 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 they're doing too much and refuse to rent us that restaurant again? What you gonna do? You out of business. You gotta build your business somewhere else. Because the people who own control. That's why we need to be buying, like T.I. did, buying our own and owning our own, and they cannot put us out. They cannot change our plan. Build our own communities. We're letting them come in, take over these prime locations, and build and throw us out. It's called gentrification. But we're going to shift. That's right. We're going to shift. So my challenge to you, we can become one of the most financially educated communities in America. Whatever we put our minds to, we take over. Think about it. We take over. Not because someone is going to give it to us, but because we're going to learn how to do it and we're going to take over it. Okay? That's what we're going to do. And week after week, I promise you, I'm going to bring you information. I'm going to bring you challenges. I'm going to bring you books and resources. I'm going to bring you people to help you make the shift. Now, are you going to have to invest anything? Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, you are. You're going to have to invest. You are going to have to invest. I have written several books, and I'll bring them to you next week. I'll mention them briefly. I've written a book called The Wealth Shift: What They Never Taught Us About Money. No, they didn't teach it to us. I spent about the last 10 years learning this information. 30 years in real estate learning how real estate works. Why does real estate make more millionaires than anything else? I know now, and I'm going to teach it to you. My book about the wealth shift, affordable, $19. It's more if you want to get it on Amazon, but you can do a flip book for a flip PDF book for $19. Then I have a first-time homebuyer handbook for all those people who are renters. I give that to them free. I wrote that because I want to give back, and I want them to have that information free. And then another resource I wrote, because a lot of them, there are two things that's keeping most renters out who can buy: their credit, because they're overloaded, either bad credit or too much credit. Okay. And also down payment money. I got a whole session I'm going to do on that for you. It's over 100 down payment programs. So you have no excuse there for getting into a home. Well, I don't have any money. You don't have any money and you're renting. Okay. So think about that. How about shifting? Let's shift. Okay. Then my last one is, I have written a wealth literacy Bible for all of you all who believe in God. I'm going to walk you through, it's about 60 passages that tells you about God, why he has given us the power to get wealth. He tells you how to get it. He tells you about the streams of income. And you know what's going to be so interesting to you? All these people out here making money, the Amazon king, Tesla king, all these people are using our biblical principles, and most of us don't even know them. So I'm doing a Bible study because I know what God has done for me. I know how he's helped me. I know I'm where I am because of him, and I have got to tell it that I've used these principles, and I'm going to give them to you. So I've written the Wealth Literacy Bible, Joe McDaniel's version, because it tells you the verse, it explains it to you, it gives you instructions, it tells you how to apply it every day, and it tells you about the stewardship part of it. I break down every passage that I discussed like that. And I'm going to do a Bible study for you on Thursday at 7 o'clock. So I want you to get that Bible. Okay? I got to price it out on Amazon, but I'm going to give you that Bible for $29. If you can't pay $29 for a Bible that's focused on helping your family with wealth, you don't need wealth. Then I'm establishing a community, because something that's this radical, you need people to support you, people that think like you. So I'm establishing a community, and we will meet once a month. We will have some good information, good people, and it's going to be a monthly membership of $27 for your investment. It's going to bring you discounts. It's going to bring you a lot of good information. And if you don't think getting yourself together is worth that, you're not ready to shift. I made these things as affordable as possible for you to be able to shift. You can bring your kids to these sessions free. Your family members who are not adults are welcome to come. I'm doing everything conveniently for you on Zoom, sending you recordings so you can have them if you can't meet us the time, whatever. So let's establish this movement. Let's make this shift. Let's not be that statistic, because we are royal people. We are intelligent people. We are powerful people. We are people of God. So that's what I have for you tonight. Next week, I will bring you some detailed information moving toward that first step of shifting. And I am so excited. I look forward to it. I want you all who hear this to just send me your information, your email, so I can send you a link to Zoom. Because I want you, after we get through, these sessions are going to be, this one was pretty long, but they're going to normally be 30 minutes. And afterwards, I will have you on Zoom where you can ask questions, and we'll do another 30 minutes on Zoom with people who want to ask questions. Okay. So this is Joe McDaniel. I always say, if you want to know, you just ask Joe, because we are getting ready to shift. Have a good evening, and I look forward to seeing you next week. I'm going to try to come on about 7. It's just I had so much to do today. I didn't get on that early, but I'm going to upload this recording and get it over to you all. And I love you. I love you. And I know what we're going to do. We're going to move the world with this, well, shift. Talk to you all later. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.